Welcome to this video where I'll be discussing the pros and cons of being a professional chess grandmaster. So one of the pros is that you get to play a lot of chess. Your hobby becomes your job. And at the start, when I just became a grandmaster, it was really enjoyable. I was a bit tired of school at the time, and I chose to play a lot of tournaments, and I was improving. I was getting a really high rating. It was very enjoyable. I managed to reach 2600, and it was pretty cool. Also, it gave me a lot of confidence to know that I was at some point top 200 in the world. I was rising in the ranks. It was a lot of fun. And as I've been playing chess professionally for over 3 years, I also came to see some of the cons of being chess professional. You don't earn that much money. It's hard. Like a lot of tournaments, like open tournaments, you basically lose money. Maybe you will get covered your hotel, and if you're lucky, you can get some money for the flight, maybe something for the food, but usually you lose money playing these tournaments because there are so many grandmasters, and it's also a lot of costs for the organizers just to have you playing there. So if you don't win a prize, it's bad luck. And this also comes down to the last round of tournaments. Like if you lose the last round, it can be the difference between earning maybe 2000 euros or getting nothing. Like the difference between winning the tournament and maybe placing 11th and you get out of the prizes, and it actually doesn't really matter at that point. So that's a huge pressure you have on yourself for that final game. And it makes such a difference for you as a professional chess player who already doesn't have much money, if you can pocket it or not. And that's also one reason I don't really play that many open tournaments, is that it's really stressful, and maybe you are working 10 days of your life to not earn any money. Of course, it's usually also enjoyable to play the event. I mean, there is a lot of nice people there, and it feels it's your job. You like to play chess, but still working for maybe 2 weeks sometimes and not earning any money, that's really, really tough for a lot of grandmasters around 2530 to 2600. Also, one really nice thing about being a chess professional is that it gives you a lot of confidence to know that you're really good at something. At some point, I reached top 200 in the world, and it was a really good feeling that okay, this thing, playing chess, that's really something I can do. But on the other hand, there is such a huge focus on the elo system. Let's say you have a bad month, you lose 20 elo points, and that really hurts, because it kind of attacks your self confidence as well. Like you used to play really well, and then you have this really bad month, and then you try really hard to regain the rating, and sometimes that can even backfire and you lose more points. And also you know that your invitations and the clubs you play for, it matters what is your elo rating. So all the time, whatever game you're playing, you always think about this thing about the elo. And to be honest, it matters. So you have to focus on it if you're a chess professional, and that's like what people also care about. Like let's say you reach the rating of 2600 or you reach 2650, you enter the top 100. That's really cool. But it also, when you don't reach the goals on elo, it can also be really, really tough. But let's look at another cool side of being a chess professional. That's like you get to travel to so many places. I've seen maybe 40 countries already, and I'm only 24 years old. And it gives such a freedom. You can basically schedule your day however you like, and I always enjoyed that freedom. You can wake up when you want. You can wake up maybe at 9, 11, 7, whatever you want, and it's really nice not to have some boss who will tell you need to do this, you need to do that. So that's definitely a pro. On the other side, also it can become a bit too much traveling. At some point, I think I was traveling maybe more than 50 days in a year, all the time, living in a suitcase, all the time on a train, airplane. It also takes a toll on you. So I remember, like, once I made the change from going from a full professional chess player to a semi-professional, I could really feel that I got less travel, and that was really nice for my life. At some point, it just becomes too much because also you cannot really be properly productive when you're traveling. All the time, you have to book in some flight. You have to. There is noise. It's hard to focus when you're traveling, and it's not really the amount of quality free time that you would love to have. So that's definitely not something I'm missing. But let's look at another pro. It's really nice to have so many international friends. I know people I know people in the US, in the eastern of Europe. I know people in Spain and Italy. Everywhere, all the Nordic countries. People, when they go to these tournaments, especially the national team competitions, you get to meet so many people, and this is one of the best things, I think. Like, you have this network, and you have always people. If you're in some city, you can go and meet them, and that's really really cool. But there is also some another downside to being a chess professional, and that's like it's really tough to keep up a relationship, because let's say you're dating someone, and then all of a sudden you say, hey, I have to go for this chess tournament for 2 weeks. And then you come back after 2 weeks, you don't see each other, and okay, of course you can talk on the phone, but we all know it's not really the same. So it can be quite challenging to keep up with your love life, but also just your family, like this kind of relationship. Like, I remember when I grew up, there were so many birthdays and like family get-togethers that I couldn't participate in because I was playing chess. And they were very understanding always. They were like, okay, of course you have to play your tournament, but it's still time you're missing out on with your family. So that's definitely also a con. But I think for most chess professionals, when they think about it, it's the problem with money. Um, a lot of really strong players, they don't teach chess. They are not doing any online content, and they are mainly just trying to make a living out of playing. And it's the way most chess grandmasters in Europe earn money is by playing for leagues. And it's actually quite decent that you can have a team in basically all countries. So I'm playing in the Icelandic league, I'm also playing in the Danish league and the German Bundesliga. I also have a team in Sweden. I also played for a team in Norway. I played for many different teams. So that's one way that a lot of chess professionals, around 2,500 to 2,700 even, earn money, is by playing for these clubs that really care about how they're doing in this national league. But then there is also all these open tournaments that I was talking about, and you see they become so strong. Some tournaments they have maybe 20 grandmasters or even 30, and then after that there is maybe 20 international masters, and there's a lot of strong players, a lot of junior players that you can easily lose to. So it's such a big competition. So like to earn money from open tournaments is becoming insanely hard. Like the most other grandmaster colleagues I'm talking to, they're also telling me that they're not really earning money from playing in these open tournaments. It's simply too hard. But yeah, I just want to tell you like my experience of being a chess professional, and this was like some of the pros and cons that I felt in my 3 year long career when I was playing full time. Now I've changed. I'm a semi-professional and I'm also studying. And actually, for me, it was really nice change in my life because now I'm not really so I feel more safety for the future, because also the thing is in chess that let's say your level suddenly drops, you can't no maybe the teams no longer want you to play for them. I mean, I really like my teams and I have good communication, but if I suddenly play really badly, they cannot be too happy with this because they also need someone to perform for the team. And it's the same if you're trying to make a living by playing open tournaments. If your level suddenly drops, then it's what is it all over basically. It's you can't really earn your living. So that's really tough. And now I'm studying to become a political scientist, and I'm really happy about it. And it's much more enjoyable now to play tournaments. Before I used to have a lot of times when I had to win the last game, and that would change my financial situation quite substantially. And now I no longer have this the same concern about the future. But at the same time, it's also a bit sad because when I was playing full time, the main goal of mine was to reach the top 100 players. And I reached the ELO rating of like 2600, at some point 2611 live rating. So I was still missing quite some rating, maybe 40 points at my peak. And now it's getting really, of course, quite tough to make it when I'm also studying. But I'm still very happy about the decision. And that's also one of the reasons why I now have time to share a lot of my openings with you guys. Because I built so much material during this 2 or 3 years as a professional that I've analyzed basically every single opening into detail. And that's why I'm giving it out to you guys. But I really hope that you enjoyed this video. It was a bit of a personal one, but I think that someone should also try to talk about the positive and negatives. Because a lot of times when I was young, people were always talking about, oh, it's so cool to be a professional. There is so much freedom. You're living out of your hobby. But it's also important to take a look at some of the quite serious cons there is to be chess professional and to base your life solely on playing chess. So there are also a lot of chess players, grandmasters. They turn to coaching, and I'm also coaching. I really enjoy coaching, but the thing is, once you start coaching a lot, it's hard to keep on improving your chess. I think it's a lot of chess players, they can keep their level, but to continuing to rise, if you have at the same time, let's say 5, 10 students who have different needs, you're talking about different levels of players, and it makes it really hard to improve your own game. So there is actually not really an easy solution to be a full-time playing chess professional. Then you need to become really strong, and even then, if you're really strong, you don't know if someone else turns out to outclass you. Of course, if you're let's say 2700 plus, you can always fall out of this category and there will come someone else. So like the job security is quite unsafe, to put it mildly. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you around to some more opening videos. Bye bye.